Oh, that's walking distance.
Yeah, it's walking distance. Less than a mile.
Less than a mile. Less than a mile.
So,
All right, yo. So, yo, we're live. We're live. We're back.
let's go.
Fighthype live. I know it's been a while. It's been a couple weeks. A lot of stuff has happened. So we got a lot to talk about here. Obviously, I got my man Sean, who's in Boston right now, to cover the Boo Boo Walter. How do you say that guy's name? Walter. I don't know, something.
Katon Dokwa.
Oh, go ahead, Sean. Go ahead, Sean.
That's my best crack at it.
Walter versus that dude.
Right.
Got my man Rockman. Got my man Rockman on out in Philly, and of course, you know we gotta have a Mayweather representative. My man Stacey Mayweather out in Las Vegas. So yeah, I don't know. Where do you? Like I said, we got a lot to cover, guys. I don't know where you want to start, but I don't know. Maybe we should start with today's fight and just get that out of the way, and and talk about Boo Boo, who was supposed to be fighting Billy Joe, but obviously we know what happened with that whole situation. So now he's fighting Walter. What's his name again, Sean?
Cole. I already forgot.
Hold on.
Katon Dokwa.
We'll call him Walter.
Katon Dokwa.
Someone has an echo.
Oh, it might be Stacy.
Yo,
I think he's putting his headphones on.
Oh, okay.
That should get rid of the echo. Stacy,
Yeah, I
you
got
hear us
you.
okay?
yeah.
All right, Rock, you still hear the echo?
Yeah.
Oh,
You still hear it?
somebody's got their YouTube on. Turn off your YouTube. You're watching YouTube. Turn the volume down on it. That's the echo.
Yeah, mute the YouTube.
Mute
Yeah, now.
Mute your YouTube. Nah, you're good. So yeah. Anyway, we'll call him Walter KO since he's a knockout artist allegedly. Sean, you got a chance to actually see some of his fights. Can you just kind of break down what you're expecting to see out of Walter KO?
Yeah, I watched his fight with Obadiah Sai. It was a knockout he got last year against a fellow African fighter. I do still hear the echo, by the way. But no,
somebody else has their YouTube. Oh, there you
just
go.
Just to kind of compare him to a fellow African fighter, he reminded me of a guy on the level of Julius Ndongo. And then we saw when Ndongo really fought elite competition in Crawford and Prograis, he got knocked out in about 2 rounds. The thing is, I don't think that Boo Boo is quite the level of a Terence Crawford. And when it came to Prograis knocking out Ndongo in 2 rounds, I think it helped him that Ndongo had already been knocked out by Crawford. He had leftovers a little bit there. So I'm but like Ndongo, he comes in with an undefeated record. But his record is against weak opposition back home in Africa, and he's not a sharp puncher. His punches aren't crisp and clean and sharp. He's a little sloppy, whether it's outside or inside. And even though he's 6'1", he actually likes to get on the inside. And so he's not going to have a whole lot for Boo Boo. We're at Boo Boo's bread and butter range, which is at distance. But
time out. Where is that echo? I still hear that echo. Where is that coming from? No?
Definitely not me.
It's not you? I hear it. You don't hear it? Rock, you ain't got yours on, do you?
No, all my stuff is on mute.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
yeah, I don't even got nothing else open. So
Yeah, I don't see anything. That's
Yo, yeah.
No? Oh yeah, now I do.
okay, he's gone now. Oh no, I still hear it.
I don't hear nothing.
You sure it's not you, Stacy?
No, man, I don't got that. No.
You ain't got no YouTube. You ain't got no YouTubes on or nothing.
No, I got my game on. Y'all shouldn't be knowing I'll be a gamer. But
no, I don't hear it
I
now.
ain't watching nothing.
I don't hear it now. Oh yeah, I do.
Yeah.
See,
So,
that's
but anyways, we know Boo Boo's
with
been inactive, and so I'm expecting him to have to not kind of be dull the first couple rounds against Walter KO. I think because we know Boo Boo has lapses. He's only had 6 fights in the last 5 years. So and then he has more of a style that really depends on rhythm and being sharp. When you're a slick fighter who can counter, he's better the sharper he is, the more active he's been lately. So I think early on we could even have some boring rounds, but I don't think Katondokwa is really going to be sharp enough on the outside to do anything. And then he does his best work on the inside. So that means to get to where he does his best work, he's going to have to eat punches from Andre. The question with Andre is just like, can he impress us? You know, don't play with your food. I'm going to give him 3 or 4 rounds to warm up. I'm going to give him 3 or 4 rounds of rope to get into a rhythm. But at that point, he should either outclass this dude or stop him. I don't want to see another boo-boo Andre coasting for 12 rounds. You know, you could talk about Atlantes Fox was not there to win and all this kind of stuff. But if you want to fight Canelo, if you want to fight Triple G, if you want to make guys – because also he's a dangerous fighter with a southpaw style. No one's going to want to fight him if they don't have to. So if you want to start knocking the door down, he's got to show out tonight. He's got to, you know, I think not just cruise and go 12 with Walter. He's got to either knock him out or outclass him and put his head on a swivel and have him rattling everywhere and putting on a show. So I'm looking for Boo Boo to actually, you know, impress us tonight and steal some headlines and show everybody that he could be a tough fight for anybody in middleweight.
Right. But
not be boring in doing it.
Right, yeah. God, the echo is killing me, man. I don't know what that is. I got everything off on my end, so I know it's not me. Somebody lying. One of y'all motherfuckers is lying.
Look, that's my TV.
Stacy's like, it's not me. You don't have it on your phone?
And that's my phone. My phone is this is Facebook in my boxing group.
Okay, well, it's not Stacy then.
And then my other phone, there's nothing on it. You see, I'm breaking down the evidence like the cops here.
I don't hear it now, though.
Hey, I'm going to mute my shit. Just tell me if it's me.
Sean said, I'm going to mute my shit. Hold on. No, I still hear it.
All right, I'm next. I'm going to mute mine.
Okay.
Yo. No, I still hear it.
Yep.
Damn, let me
Nope, it's not you, Rock.
Man, I want to do it. Got something to do with these headphones.
It might, but let me make sure it's not. Yeah, mute yours, Stacy.
What about it now?
I didn't hear it.
Hello.
Yo.
Because
we're good. We're good.
It's your headphones.
$200 for some bullshit.
Well, you're good. I can hear you fine. So we'll just.
But yeah, so, you know, now that the echo's not there, basically Boo Boo's got to show out. You know, I'm gonna give him 3 or 4 rounds to shake some rust off. You know, because of all certain things out of his control, he hasn't always been able to be as active as he wants. Cool. I'll give you 3 or 4 rounds, but after that, he should outclass this dude and start putting it on his ass. And look, we're boxing purists, right? We can enjoy a guy sticking and moving, counterpunching. That's all nice. But if you want to get the likes of a Canelo there, that's not going to do enough, man. He's got to light some shit up. He's got to whoop some ass tonight. Not just be finesse and be pretty, but get gritty too and really put a hurting on his man tonight. After the first 3 or 4 rounds, that's what I'm looking for from Boo Boo Andre. Because we all know he talks a great game, very talented, exceptional athletic ability, good talker, good-looking guy. But if you really want that shit, if you really want to be the best middleweight in the world and make tens of millions of dollars fighting a Canelo, someone like that, show out, man. Show out. When a man's not on your level and you're 2-3 classes above him, like I think he will be tonight, show out. Whoop his ass. That's what I want to see from Andre.
Yeah,
so, I next?
Go ahead, Rock.
I just want to say that I'm very disappointed in
your Wi-Fi
not being. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine, but you look choppy as shit.
I don't know what that is. It's probably the internet connection.
Go ahead.
But listen, I'm really disappointed that Billy Joe isn't on this card.
Yeah.
You know, he talked a world of trash and then got tested positive for a banned substance. It's not giving us the fight that we really want to see. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I just wanted to throw that out there. I just want to acknowledge the fact that he's not fighting. Now we got to, watch a fight with a guy that, we want to see less. I mean, he's the number 2 guy, but we really wanted to see Billy Joe really step it up and fight somebody that could pose a true threat. And he got caught for a banned substance, so shame on him.
And this is Billy Joe's what, 4th canceled fight?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Whoa. Bro.
Talented guy, but he started to look like a bullshit artist.
Throws chicken on fighters and
Who
has
cares?
his kid punch other fighters in the crotch. I mean, come on, man. You need to step up when there's a true. You need to step up when there's a true champion, especially a champion from the Americas. That's gonna put it on you tonight.
You just a Billy Joe hater. You just a Billy Joe hater. You just wanna put your Billy Joe hate out there. Don't get me wrong. I too am upset that it's not Billy Joe versus Boo Boo tonight. But I also think if they really wanted to push that fight through, I think they could have. I think that, actually, I don't even want to say that. I don't even want to go there. At the end of the day, it's Billy's fault. He knew he was signed up to VADA. He should have had the list of banned substances. He should have listed if it was a nasal spray. He should have listed that he was taking that nasal spray. It was his fault. And I do agree. But I'm not going to fault him for not stepping up. I mean, he did take the fight. Like the fight was gonna happen. It's just, shit happens in this day and age.
I got a question for you.
He also took the second test as well. He took the second test as well.
Well, the second test came up negative.
Oh, wow. Well, so did Canelo's, right?
No, I think Canelo's came up positive.
I thought the hair test came up negative.
But that was an entirely different test. I'm talking about the B sample. Like when you do a drug test, they take two samples. They take the A sample and the B sample. If you take the A sample, if it comes up positive, you have an opportunity to dispute that, in which case they will test the B sample. And 9 times out of 10, the B sample, if you're positive, the B sample will come up positive too. But in this case, it came up negative, I believe, is what happened. So that's why I was kind of shocked that they didn't push forward with the fight. I mean, again, at the end of the day, it's Billy Joe Saunders' fault. But if his B sample came up negative, then what's the problem? Like, let's go.
Ben, is what you didn't want to get into more or less that maybe Eddie Hearn, the fact that Boo Boo Andrade is purely his fighter. There is no Frank Warren attachment. That maybe getting a fight with Walter, an easy win, it works better for Eddie's business. It's
that's exactly what I was gonna say, Sean. I didn't want to go and accuse anyone of doing anything, but I did feel like, I mean, listen. The sanctioning bodies make money when these guys fight. The commissions make money when these guys fight. The fighters make money, and the promoters make money. So, at the end of the day, I just felt like if the promoter, in which case it was Eddie Hearn, if he really, really, really wanted the fight to push through, I think he could have had conversations with both the WBO and the commission and said, listen, he tested the B-side sample. It came up negative. I talked to my fighter. My fighter's okay with the fight going through. I feel like there could have been a discussion to, kind of still have that fight push through. But it seems like the opposite happened. Instead of having those discussions, it seems like Eddie Hearn spoke to the WBO and said, okay, who's the backup guy? Oh, Walter KO? Oh, this is his record? Oh, let me see some tape on him. Oh, okay. Well, if Billy Joe doesn't get licensed, are you going to strip him? Will the title be on the line for Boo Boo still? It's like all this stuff was agreed to prior to the commission actually holding the hearing to determine if Billy, and because all those discussions were had prior to that decision, it makes the decision look a little shady, So in Billy Joe's defense, I guess, that's kind of how I looked at that whole situation. But again, at the end of the day, can you even defend Billy Joe? It was his fault. And he should know, especially in this environment, especially if you're someone who, really shit on Canelo when Canelo tested positive. Like, I mean, you were talking about, Billy Joe, that is, was talking about fighters should be banned for life and go to jail. He was talking all this crazy stuff about Canelo. And now you've got the situation, like, if you're going to be that advocate for it, then you better make sure your shit ain't dirty either. you know, and he didn't do his due diligence, and he should have did that knowing that he was signed up to VADA. But again, like I don't want to accuse anybody of any wrongdoing or anything other than Billy Joe.
Well, it fucked his spot up though, because he could kind of bogart that WBO title as bait.
Right.
It's like I could talk all the shit I want. I could fight in England as much as I want, but eventually a top name is gonna want to fight me because I got this belt, and now he doesn't.
Right. Right. He gave it up too, right? He didn't even get stripped. He just vacated it. Like, fuck it.
I thought he actually got stripped.
Nah, I don't think so. I think prior to the WBO making the decision, he just vacated it. Like,
But is that like resigning before you get fired though?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Okay.
Pretty much.
Break it up before she dump you.
Yeah.
Right.
Or maybe he didn't want that smoke.
He didn't want that smoke. What smoke? He was gonna fight. The fight was gonna happen, and he just vacated the time. He didn't want the smoke of what? Getting in trouble. He already got in trouble. So I just think he got pissed off and said, "Fuck you, WBO. I'm out." You know. So
Rock, you really think Boo Boo was gonna get him tonight? I don't know. It was like 50-50 to me, but I'm asking just because activity, just because Boo Boo's, he hasn't been able to get a lot of fights.
I think it was a 50-50 fight, but I think out of all the fights that we've seen Billy Joe in, this was the most threatening fight.
Mm-hmm.
This is a dance partner that can box just as well as he can. You know, I like David Lemieux, but David Lemieux is a little bit, he's not, he doesn't have that much footwork. He hits hard, he knocks guys out, but Andre was going to box with him and was going to touch him. He has a lot to prove.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, it's kind of like just a little bit like Thurman and Spence, where it's like, damn, Billy Joe, damn, Keith Thurman, why do you got to fuck up and slow down the whole momentum of the division? Because it's really, we could be already marching towards Spence and Crawford being a mega fight if Keith would have never had his issues. And then, like, same thing right now with Billy Joe and Boo Boo. It's like, damn, if you guys would have fought each other, someone would have came out of that a bigger name, and the middleweight picture would have been, slimmed down. Like we could get some answers here. But because guys like Thurman and Saunders wind up having some issues, obviously Saunders' issues a lot different than Thurman's, I feel like it slows down the momentum of the division, because now we got to wait 5 or 6 whole months till Billy Joe's back now, because you can't count him out of the picture. Same thing with Thurman. He's an undefeated champion. So even if he's gone for a year and a half, we can't just move on without him. So these motherfuckers are slowing us down a little bit.
Motherfuckers.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
That's true. But, if he gets hurt, there's nothing you could do about an injury. It's unexpected.
Right. No, right.
I think he's pretty much an honest fighter. I don't think he would duck Spence. He's just hurt. So,
I don't think he ducks Spence, but he does want to. My bad, Rock. No, I don't think he would duck Spence, but I do think he wants to marinate it or whatever,
Who so is everybody picking Boo Boo to win tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah. It should be. It better be by stoppage if you want to raise some antennas around here.
Exactly.
Rock, agree. Boo Boo.
You got to make a statement tonight.
Fight before, but I expect Boo Boo's the star, I guess. The A side to win.
Well, I just want, I don't want to stay on that, even though that's the fight tonight. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff to talk about, and I wanted to get to the biggest news of the week. Obviously, Boo Boo is fighting on Dazn. So let's just segue into Dazon's big signing. Canelo Álvarez, $365 million deal. 11 fights. Actually, I think it's just a 10. I mean, I don't know how this the Rocky Fielding fight factors into it, but it's another 10 fights after that. Like I said, $365 million. Obviously, that's good for Canelo. Is it good for Dazn though?
Well, how are they going to make money? Because they have, I think I read that they have $132 million committed to just Joshua and Canelo alone per year.
Wow.
So in order to turn a profit on that alone, they would need about 2 million subscribers, $10 a month. 2 million subscribers would get them about $20 million a month, 20 million times 12, 240. So for them to even turn a real solid profit, they would have to have about 2 million subscribers
every month,
each and every month. Yeah.
Wow.
So, I mean, God bless them for
they're not
for doling out the money to fighters,
but
and
they're
giving,
not banking on that though. Or I mean, they're banking on. I assume when you have a subscription, what you're banking on is, you know, it's just like having a gym subscription or a gym membership. You know, when someone signs up to the gym, yeah, they might go for that first month, but then the next month they forget, but you still pay. The next month you forget. So I think they're banking on, you know, the retention of people. So what was the math you did? What was it?
They would need right now about 2 million subscribers to pull in serious, like, good profits. Because if you're putting,
well, how much? Okay, so what is it? It's $10. It's $10 a month, basically, right?
Yeah.
So they just signed Canelo. Canelo did what, 1 million pay-per-view buys,
right,
for the Golovkin fight. So let's say
that's it.
That's it. Let's say those. No, it was one. It was
1.1.
It was 1.1, which usually means, I mean, you could subtract 200,000 because usually they just tack on an extra 200,000. So it was really probably about 8 and some change, maybe 9. But let's just call it 1 million. So that's like let's say they make $10 million off of 1 million subscriptions for the one Canelo fight. So so what? You multiply that times what? 12?
12, and that's 120 mil.
So that's 100.
You're still losing 12 million a year just on Canelo and Joshua alone.
Well,
even if you get
that's 120 million, right? So so Canelo is gonna fight what, twice a year? Mm-hmm. Now, obviously, you can't assume that he's gonna do 1 million subscribers each time. So basically, what are they paying him? 33 million a fight?
A fight, yeah.
So it's like a wash. So it's a wash. So if Canelo fights twice and he only brings in 1 million subscribers for that year, and all those subscribers stay for all 12 months, that's 120 million subscribers minus the 120 or 126 million that you paid Canelo. So you're losing money. And that's just for Canelo.
Canelo and Joshua
also getting money and stuff from like Bellator and some of the other sports that they have on the network.
You get subscribers, like you get subscribers. I mean, that's all you're really getting. So, but how many subscribers are you getting for Bellator? You know, how many subscribers are you getting for World Boxing Super Series? You know, I mean, I'm just saying, let's just look at. I'm not even counting Anthony Joshua. I'm just strictly looking at Canelo and Canelo's deal. You know. Assuming he gets 1 million subscribers to tune in and he fights twice a year, that, I mean, and all those subscribers stay for the entire year, that's 120 million they made minus the 126 million they have to pay Canelo for that year. So that's
Canelo, they'll just have to do 60. It's 126 where you combine.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. So that's right. I don't know why I got. Yeah, I think I was throwing Joshua in there too. Yeah, right. It's 60. So it's a 60 million profit is what they would make.
Right? If 1 million people subscribe
and they stay for the entire year, they have to stay on for the entire year. Right.
All I'm curious is, and I don't actually really care. I just care that the best fights get made. I could care less if they lose money, but we get to see all the fights we want to see. But I just am curious because I think they said like Showtime and HBO have around 20 million something subscribers.
30,
30. And I mean, they've been around American institutions for decades with Emmys and everything. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, man, you're really going to have to get your subscribers up there to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 million, unless there's some other revenue I don't know about, advertising or.
Can't be. I see ads on there or right. Like
I'm wishing them good luck and I'm happy they're here. I'm just curious, how exactly are you going to make it work?
I just don't know if I would have, a 5-year deal is that's a long contract for something that you don't know is going to get you the return on investment. I mean, I don't,
right.
It's great for Canelo. Canelo is like, yes, I made it. But
Top Rank, I was talking with Top Ranks people on Wednesday. Not Bob didn't give a shit. Bob was cool. But a few people around him seemed salty just that the media was reporting the numbers, because they were telling me, look, there's no way they were like they were trying to tell me they're making numbers up. Because they said, you see how when Top Rank signed Terence Crawford, terms were disclosed. They were telling me we could have thrown some crazy bullshit number out there, and you guys would have reported it as fact. So I don't know. I just
Well, no, I think they have a point. I mean, first of all, the 365 number, like really, you guys offered him $1 million for every day of the year, like really, that's really what you guys did. So I mean, first of all, that number just sounds number. It just sounds suspect. Like, how did you come up with that number? But number two, we don't know any of the terms of the contract. Like, are we supposed to truly believe that Canelo is going to get $33 million for his next 11 fights? For Rocky Felding? For David Lemieux? For Danny Jacobs? For Boo Boo? Like, none of those fights would have done well on pay-per-view. None of them. None of them come close to 1 million pay-per-view buys. So why would you pay Canelo that much money? And on top of that, what happens if Canelo loses? You know, what if Danny Jacobs beats him? Does he still get 33 million for his next fight and the rest after that?
And Ben, like Canelo, I don't know. I think we'd agree that in this last fight against Triple G, he went to another level we didn't quite see him at again. Can you really bank that he's going to be that fighter we saw last month for the next 5 years when the circumstances put his back? He just went from an opposite. Going into that fight, his back was totally against the wall. Is he a dirty fighter? Is he a scared fighter? His reputation with his country was on the line. Now it's the exact opposite. It's like back against the wall. Like, you have 5 years of guaranteed $360 million. I mean, I don't understand. I don't know if you can expect the same kind of drive and motivation that leads to that performance. 65. You get what I'm saying? Yeah.
And then who do you fight? Who does he fight? He's got 10 more fights after Rocky Fielding. Who does he fight? Danny Jacobs, right?
Triple G, the third fight with Triple G.
If
Charlo.
I'm talking. Let's talk realistic. I mean, I know that the Triple G third fight is out there. I know that the Charlo fight is out there. But let's talk realistic.
Jaime Munguia at some point.
Okay. Realistically, we know Dazn has Danny Jacobs. We know Dazn has Demetrius Andrade. Those are two fights that, you know, obviously they can do.
They're gonna have to fight each other to fight Canelo, though.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Okay.
But regardless, those are still two fights you can do. David Lemieux is out there. That's 3. Jaime Munguia, like you said, Sean, he's out there. They could do that fight. But you still got to find 6 more dudes. I know the Golovkin fight is out there, but that fight becomes harder to make if Golovkin ends up doing business with ESPN or something like that. I mean, Eddie Hearn essentially said, yo, if y'all want to fight Canelo, or if anybody wants to fight for any of the middleweight titles, DAZN is going to have them all, baby. So you're going to have to sign to DAZN. And I don't know if that's actually going to happen with guys like, especially guys like Charlo and guys like Golovkin. So realistically, I'm struggling to find 10 fights, or in this case, 6 more fights that Canelo can be in that are worth that kind of money.
Charlo's gonna have no choice, though, right? I mean, Golovkin, he has that option with Murata in Japan.
No. Charlo. First of all, Charlo has gotten himself into a mandatory position, so they can say what they want, but they can't keep the title. They can't hold the titles captive. You know, if Charlo is the mandatory, then, you know, eventually they're gonna have to fight him. So,
but he'd probably still have to go to DAZN.
No, not.
You're not gonna get Canelo, the A side, to come to your network.
No, probably not. But Canelo could relinquish the title. He could relinquish the title. Canelo could lose to Danny Jacobs. Danny Jacobs could win the title, in which case Charlo would have to fight Danny Jacobs, in which case that fight becomes a little easier to make. You know, Al Heyman can work his magic and get Danny Jacobs to fight Charlo on Showtime or something like that. You know, he's not it's not that Charlo is stuck. You know, he's got guys he can fight. It's not the guys that we want to see him fight necessarily, but you know, he doesn't necessarily have to go to DAZN in order to get a shot.
I disagree. I disagree. Like, he's got, even if it doesn't mean inking with DAZN, his big fights are gonna have to be on DAZN just by virtue of what Eddie's talking about.
He only has one big fight on DAZN, and that's Canelo. Danny Jacobs is not a big fight.
But how else are you going to get your hands on a world title if Boo Boo and Jacobs have the belts along with Canelo? I mean,
just because Eddie Hearn said, "Oh, you're going to have to fight on DAZN," he didn't really mean that. He didn't really mean that. He just flexing. He's just feeling himself like, yeah, y'all motherfuckers didn't think we were going to get somebody. Well, we got Canelo now, so what? He's just flexing right now, and he's putting it out there trying to scare these fighters into saying, oh, shit, we got to get with DAZN. He's just flexing. The fight is going to happen wherever the biggest money offer is. If it's DAZN, it'll happen on DAZN. But that doesn't necessarily, like Al Heyman, you know, don't be ruling out his ability to throw big money at guys that if he wants fights to happen, he will do it. Now, whether or not that's the case, whether or not he thinks that Danny Jacobs versus Charlo is a big fight, you know, I don't think that's going to happen. But if it's Canelo, I don't see anybody else having a choice but to fight on DAZN. Guys like Canelo, guys like Anthony Joshua, those are the ace, like those are the mega A sides. There is no room for negotiation. You got to go to wherever they're going. And if Canelo just signed this deal with, I mean, he didn't. There's no if. He did just sign this deal with DAZN. So now, if you want to fight Canelo, you have to fight on DAZN. Now that is factual, I believe, and same thing with Anthony Joshua. But those other guys, the Boo Boos and the Danny Jacobs, nah, that's not. They're not draws, man. They're not draws.
You know, but I said this before.
I got a couple questions. Does anybody else find it weird that Eddie Hearn was speaking for Canelo anyway? Why wasn't De La Hoya there?
No. Well, I do find it weird.
That was a huge announcement.
I do find it weird that De La Hoya was not at that press conference. Why are you not at this? I mean, that was a huge announcement. That's on par to De La Hoya not showing up to Mayweather versus Canelo. Like,
well, he had you know. He had a reason for that, at least.
Is it?
Well, I think he had a reason for not being in New York too. But
okay.
I don't know what it is.
Same reason?
I mean, nah.
I don't know no other reason. Only one other thing keep you away from money.
Right.
And another question is that contract truly the biggest in sports history? Is that truly a bigger contract than Mayweather?
Well, I think.
No.
Yeah, the contract on the surface, yeah.
But we don't know. We don't really know what the contract is, though. Like I think that's the point Sean was making.
Yeah, and you got to think, even if just by the numbers they saying, as in the numbers, you got to think with Mayweather is the back end and the position he held was way different opposed to the because you got to think his contract. I still don't think it really actually equaled more because wasn't Floyd's around damn near 50 million?
Floyd made more on per fight.
His was the actual deal was 32 million guaranteed per fight. That was Floyd's.
But he made more than that.
Everything else is back end.
That's why I just find the 365. It's almost like they made sure.
Like they tried to make sure they beat that deal. Yeah.
They beat that deal, right? And there's no real numbers behind. There's no real factual information about it.
And then all of a sudden he's calling Floyd out. What a coinky dink.
Yeah, he blew his opportunity.
Didn't think about them Triple G fight, but
that's the thing. I mean, it's on the surface it looks like a better deal, but at the end of the day, I think Floyd obviously, you know, he had the Pacquiao fight, which was part of that deal, the 6-fight deal.
And Canelo.
Was Canelo? Yeah, Canelo.
Yeah, he probably made more than 250 from those 2 fights alone.
Yeah, I mean, because of his back end and his whole, he a boss though.
Right.
He's doing, you know, so it's a little different. But
so did the DAZN put HBO out of business?
No.
Nah. That was more Al, I feel.
I don't think it was Al. I don't think it was Al either. I think, and Sean actually
sound like they're getting tired of it.
No. I think Sean, you did an interview with Bob Arum, and you know, Bob Arum spoke on it, and I think Bob Arum probably gave the most factual information there is out there. I mean, he basically
that was a pretty good interview. Can you play it for the fans so we could analyze it? You think it's worth playing for the fans?
I'd have to find it. I gotta find it. I gotta find it. I don't know. Next time, I'll be more prepared next time. I don't really have anything up, and I'm tripping because I feel like my internet is lagging.
But Bob was saying that he felt like really what put HBO out of business was Netflix.
Netflix.
Yeah.
Netflix.
He's like, because at the end of the day, these are entertainment networks. They're not sports networks.
Right.
So, yeah, I think he was kind of saying once he started seeing companies like ESPN and Fox and DAZN throwing around this kind of crazy money, the HBO is like, fuck, we're good. Like, at the end of the day, we're an entertainment company.
You have to compete. I mean, if you watch HBO or you've watched HBO in the past, you know that they don't just put on boxing. They put on, you know, documentaries. They put on comedy specials. You know, they put on, you know, movies and things like that. And guess what? Guess who else does that? Netflix. And guess what? Netflix is throwing a shit ton of money to comedians to do their specials on Netflix. I mean, Kevin Hart, you know, Adam Sandler, Dave Chappelle, you know, like they're throwing a lot of money at their own.
Like 3 years ago.
What'd you say?
You know, they passed HBO on subscribers like 3 years ago.
Right, exactly. And I think HBO just made a conscious decision to say, you know what, the money that we're using over here in boxing, we need to redirect that money over here and get some new shows signed or whatever. I think that was just a strategic business move. I don't think it had anything to do with anyone in boxing driving them out. But
you're right, man, because 10 years ago, Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle, that would have been on HBO, no question. All those stand-ups, Amy Schumer.
Right.
Yeah.
And today, I mean, Netflix is throwing so much money at it that comedians are bitching. Like, they're like, yo, I didn't get the offer that he got. I mean, what's her face? Monique was bitching that she got lowballed by Netflix. Like, no, fuck that. You need to pay me more money. Like, it's like, whoa, how much money is Netflix dumping into this stuff? So I think really it's Netflix. I think Netflix is what's happening. I think that's what happened to HBO, and basically that's what Bob Arum is predicting is going to happen to Showtime. He's saying Showtime is going to be faced with the same decision, and I think he might be right. Like,
but you know what, Showtime, I feel, keeps living a little bit of why they're able to do what they do is Floyd Mayweather. I feel like, they're all those windfalls of cash Floyd brought them, and apparently is gonna bring them some more next year. I feel like that's been why they've been able to overpay certain fighters, and so I'm curious that once the Mayweather gravy train is over, will they be able to sustain? You know. So
yeah, somebody asked, did Jesse Vargas accept the IBF final eliminator for Errol Spence? I don't know. Did you guys hear about that?
I'll ask him.
So.
Man, come on.
Just ask him.
I'll ask him.
He said, come on.
You want me to text him? No.
Yeah, you can text him. Shoot him a text. Yeah. Shoot him a text. See if he replies. You never know. That's how we do. That's how we do on Fighthype Live. We get you the answers you want.
That right there is unacceptable, man.
What's that?
Why is that unacceptable?
Jesse Vargas, unacceptable.
Why? Jesse Vargas, why?
Errol Spence needs to be fighting somebody bigger than his ass. Obviously, nobody wants to fight him at 147. Be great, man. That's what the great do.
You think Errol Spence needs to move up?
Hell yeah, he needs to move up. He walk around here 180 pounds, yes.
I don't think he needs to move up,
but he can fight outside of his weight division.
Spence will fight Canelo
one day.
I think just because these guys don't want to fight him right now doesn't mean he should move up and fight, say, you know, one of those guys.
Man, that's fine and dandy. Nobody this great stays at one weight. He's not a kid, man.
But he's just getting started. He's just getting started, though. There's so many people.
Okay. Who he finna fight in the next year, man?
Well, hopefully Sean Porter. Hopefully.
Man, stop, man. Sean Porter is not getting nowhere near that, man. Let's be honest. He's not.
I even talk to Sean's team sometimes.
Sean gonna milk it. Yeah. Sean gonna milk it as he should. He had that. He lost it last time as soon as he tasted it. He ain't giving it up that easy this time.
Actually, I will.
So go take the money.
I can confirm that I do believe that Sean Porter will probably fight Keith Thurman in a rematch before he fights Errol Spence. From what I was told, you know, despite all the talk about Sean Porter and Errol Spence during fight week, during the fight, after the fight, from what I was told, maybe a day or so before Sean and Danny fought, both Sean and Danny had to sign contracts guaranteeing that the winner would fight Keith Thurman first. So
why?
Huh?
Mikey's a champion in 2 divisions, right?
Yep.
Okay.
4. Oh, okay. Currently in 2. Yeah, currently.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it can be done. Floyd did it. Man, listen, I can see y'all saying
you're just saying while he's waiting for someone move up.
You gotta think a fight. Okay, him and Jared Hurd is just as big as any fight at 147 now because he bigger. They can make it big. It to be honest, man, it's not even. I mean, this is no disrespect.
Should go up first fight and fight.
They've already gave him. Everybody gave him this title. It's just like Broner. They done gave him this title of a monster that he hasn't proven yet. So my whole point is, make it a reality. Go up and wait.
But Stacey,
I'm not saying stay there.
He's not going to be able to come back down though.
Why he couldn't?
I just don't think his frame. He puts that 7 pounds of muscle. He's already big as hell for welterweight. He put
about 20. Man, I seen that man. That man's about 175, 170, easily. Chest like this, muscle.
But you know, it's different when you training for a professional fight at that weight class. I just don't think. I feel like if he were to ever move up, that ship would sail. It would give all those people who don't want to fight him now that much more ammo. Like, see, he moved up. It's over. He's done.
Yeah.
And then,
but what's gonna happen now? You gonna fight? What is Mikey Garcia gonna do for you? What is Jesse Vargas gonna do for you?
Well, listen.
No, there is no the fighter. We all know he not getting no mega fight no time soon. Only person gonna get in there with him is Terence Crawford. Is that gonna happen so easy?
Well, but listen, and here's the argument. If there's no need to move up, why move up? And when I say no need to move up, I mean if he's gonna get paid 1 point something, maybe $2 million to stay at 147 to fight a Ugas or somebody else, then why move up to fight Jared Hurd if you're only gonna get paid $3 million for that? Do you know what I'm saying? Like the reason why he
legitimize himself.
Yeah, but I don't know if he's worried about being legitimized. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if he's concerned about that. I think
I thought he was based on that's how he came into the game. But I guess when you get money,
well, I think everybody says that when they come into the game. But once you start making money and you start hearing fighters complaining about I need a fight. I think it's more about them wanting a fight because they want a payday. Do you know what I'm saying?
Terence Crawford just don't get it, huh? Terence Crawford just want to be great, huh?
Well, some fighters just want to be great. Some fighters just want to be great. But again, in Terence Crawford's case, he kind of had to move up to get some better paydays.
He has to call out Errol Spence Jr. though, since he got to deal with ESPN.
I'm just saying it. You know, these guys. If
actually.
I'm just saying these guys they're not going to make the moves as long as they are being enabled. You're not going to move up in weight to fight a tough fight for $3 million if you could stay in this weight division and fight a meh fight for $2 million.
So what I'm saying. Okay, certain people. So what I'm saying is, okay, Terence Crawford, right? I don't know the numbers of his contract, but they say that he signed, 8-figure contract.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? Tens of millions of contract. Do you think that if he fight Errol, the money changes? Or is his contract his contract? Do you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Or do he want to fight him because he feel that, no, you the best and you're supposed to be the big dude? So why is it okay for Mikey to do it, but he won't? You think Mikey going to stay at 147? I'm sure he wasn't. But I fight though because that's where money at.
While we on the topic of Terence Spence, though, I did want to ask you guys one thing, and I think Crawford's the best fighter in the world, pound for pound. But what is there any difference between what Crawford's doing right now with Bob and what Manny used to do with Bob? When they would ask Manny about Floyd, talk to my promoter, I just fight. Isn't that more or less what Crawford is doing when we ask him about Errol Spence? He's like, of course I want to fight. It's my promoter, blah, blah, blah. All I'm saying is what's the difference between what Terence is doing and what Manny used to do when it comes to everybody knows the one fight we want to see in your career. Why won't you, instead of giving us that whole promoter shit, just say, I want to fight Errol Spence, just like Manny should have said.
But you gotta think.
I want to fight Floyd Mayweather.
But you gotta think.
They should. We got.
You gotta think.
Oh, hey Ben, you still on?
Yeah, I know. Hold on, I'm about to mute.
Okay.
Hold on. I have to mute my. I'm in the middle of doing
a
show.
What's up, Stacy?
You gotta think.
But they should.
Like you saying,
we got two.
But you gotta think. What you think made people think of the Terence Crawford and Errol Spence? It was Terence Crawford to begin with. They started this train on. It seemed like he was told that. Now he's saying, "Well, you got to talk to them," but he called him out from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So it ain't like he originally was saying that, smoke screening. It's more, at first he was saying it, but it's like Bob told him, I don't know what's going on with that, but I feel he wants to fight him. Do I believe he'll beat him? Oh, I ain't going to go so far to say that.
It's just like you guys are both starting to tread water. You both, Terence and Bud, they're both starting to fight guys we know they're going to beat. No one else wants to fight the two of them. So, Terence, why don't you step on up, get on that mic on ESPN right after the fight and say, Errol Spence, you know where to find me. Let's make it happen. I don't
Errol
know.
Spence made it clear that he ain't fighting on ESPN.
Right.
I know, but that's what I'm saying.
Even though I don't know, but from my knowledge, I haven't heard him say he has an exclusive contract with Showtime, so I don't know why he won't fight on ESPN if the money is there. But, you got to think the difference is somebody got a promoter and somebody got an advisor.
Right.
So.
Well, Bob's saying all the right things these days.
You know what I'm saying? He taking advice, but to be honest, somebody giving you advice don't mean you got to take it. Opposed to somebody else is a promoter and they got a contract. They have to go to their promoter. But to be honest, that is on Errol to say, let's make this fight happen because he do not have a promoter. He's self-promoted, ain't he? So let's just go technical. Technically, he got Errol Spence promotion. So my thing is, who do you talk to, your advisor? Because if I'm signing with a promoter, I have to talk to my promoter to fight. But you don't have a promoter, so, you can kind of make it happen a little easier. I mean, I'm just saying.
Hold on. I know I was gone for a minute, and I'm jumping in at the tail end. But, Stacy, are you saying that because Errol Spence is a promoter and has a promotional company?
No. I said because Errol Spence don't have a promoter, he can answer a question. Because the whole thing started was he was saying is Terence Crawford doing the same thing when you got to talk to my promoter. I mean, he is signed with a promoter.
Yeah,
he's signed with a promoter. He can't. He do not have the power to do it. Technically, what's the name? Do not have a promoter, so
yeah, but
he can make it happen.
No,
he can't put that on Al Haymon.
Yeah,
that's his advisor.
No. Listen.
No, but that's it. Stop. Don't give him a different title. He's an advisor.
I'm not gonna give him a different title. I guess I am sort of gonna give him a different title. It's not necessarily that it's a different title. It's more of a different position. Al Haymon, yes, is his advisor, but at the end of the day, Al Haymon is his boss, and the boss decides what's going to happen, when it's going to happen, where it's going to happen. The boss is the one that has the TV dates and decides who's going to fight on this date and that date.
So now it goes back to his question, and it's easy to answer. If Terence Crawford or him say, well, it's up to Al Haymon or it's up to
Bob Arrow.
It is. That's true.
Neither one of them, they're not their own boss. So
that's true.
So it's kind of unfortunate, but in Terence Crawford's favor, don't forget that this whole fight thought process came when he was 140 saying that he wanted to fight him. So it all started from him. He probably was just talking and didn't know that it was rules to it.
But you can't even. But the whole Errol Spence, Terence Crawford, like, you need to table that for a minute because right now we can't even get the fights on the same side of the street.
Exactly. That's my point. So how long will it take before Errol Spence get the fight he wants?
Errol Spence.
Who is the next person with a belt that he says he wants?
The boss. Again, the boss makes that decision. And what you have to understand is that the boss isn't necessarily just looking at, oh, Errol Spence wants this fight? Okay, done. The boss ain't looking at that.
Do you think they're going to take what's the name of the belt, man? Do you think that's how they're going to make him happy?
Who?
You think Thurman belt gonna get taken from him?
Nah, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so.
Errol's gonna get his big money when he fights Canelo. I really.
Oh, yeah, no, he is the person that would like to fight Canelo. He'd be like, well, I'll take it.
And Canelo and Oscar would like to fight Errol because they don't want to fight 6-foot middleweights. I'm telling you, eventually they're gonna want to tell Errol and Al, let's do that fight at Cowboy Stadium.
Listen, all you gotta do is put yourself in Al Heyman's shoes to decide what you want to do. If you have Errol Spence, you have Mikey Garcia, you know, those are two names that you're like, I got some good traction going with these guys. So do I really want them to fight? Probably not. I don't care what Mikey's saying, and I don't care what Errol Spence is saying. You got, in one sense, you got this undefeated, you know, black fighter from Texas who is wrecking dudes and who you probably think is going to be the king of the welterweight division. You don't really want to jeopardize that. And in another sense, you have this Mexican-American kid who is moving up and down divisions and who is undefeated. Like, you don't necessarily want to wreck that. So if you're Al Heyman, why would you want those two guys to fight each other? So that's kind of the reason why I don't think that fight is going to happen. And in the same sense, it's like, you know, I think if you're Al, you probably would prefer to position Errol Spence against someone like Sean Porter. Like, I think that's kind of what they're heading towards. But at the same time, you also have Keith Thurman floating around out there, and you got to keep him happy, and you got a good thing going with him. So you've got all these things going, and I think that's part of the reason why, you know, Errol Spence is going to be frustrated if he doesn't get Sean Porter right away because, you know, the boss might have some other plans for Sean Porter and some other things he wants to do with Sean Porter and Keith Thurman. And so it's really the boss that's juggling all these things around. And, you know, Errol, you know, yeah, you could be frustrated that you haven't had this fight. Mikey, you could be frustrated that you haven't had a pay-per-view. That's fine. But while you're frustrated, let me give you this Richard Comey fight and another $2 million and see if that settles you down. Or let me give you this Ugas fight.
Ben,
where did this put Terence Crawford in y'all lives? Like,
nowhere.
Since everything is on the other side, like, is he just there at this point because he don't got no opponent?
He do got opponents though. He don't listen. For all intents and purposes,
he don't got no belt opponents.
Well, but for all intents and purposes, Errol Spence ain't got no opponents.
Yeah, they won't fight him.
That's why I don't mind seeing Jesse Vargas in the mix.
Right.
Honestly.
No, man. Put Thomas DeLorme in there then. If you're going to put him in there. Put somebody in there with some damn power. I like you, Jesse. I'm sorry, man, but this is true. Let me see somebody with some smoke behind that shit. They had a draw. He hit harder. Make it exciting.
Right.
So, Ben, do you think...
We still got Danny out there.
Yeah, we do, man, but Danny picking fights and he lost.
So
Danny
Ben,
care about who he ain't gonna fight. Well, I'll fight. Danny don't want no smoke either. Danny, this is what I never heard. How you don't want titles, man? Oh, well, I think I need to fight Thurman for. Man, dude, Errol Spence chilling, man. He'll love to fight you. I accept that, but he don't want to fight him. He a champion. What is this going on?
We got Ugas.
You want to fight certain. You gonna say Danny want to fight certain people if they got the title? Ain't that a bitch? Oh man, Errol don't got the belt, so I'll fight you for the belt, but not Errol Spence Jr. I feel so bad for him because, man, to be that good, I don't know. Maybe y'all can explain it.
You can't feel that bad for him. You're trying to throw him in there with Jared Hurd.
Good. I mean, you know why? Because he spars with Charlo all the time, so it's not like it's a crazy fight.
that's where that inactivity hurts, man.
I think it would take his marketability out. I ain't gonna lie. What it really would do is really petrify everybody at 147. Like, oh my God.
You kidding me?
Gerald Hurd look like a heavyweight, man.
You ain't lying.
That's a big boy, man.
But that's where this inactivity hurts, though. The dude got a first-round knockout in June. He could have been fought already, but hasn't because of how that shit operates over there. It's not a good look to me, man. When you have the hottest welterweight in the world that he gets a first-round knockout and he might not fight the rest of the year, come on, man. That's unacceptable.
Yeah, that is crazy. That is crazy.
Come on, man.
But again,
Jermall Charlo hasn't fought again this year. Like, I heard he's going to fight in December, but come on, man.
December 22nd.
Like these
Tank
dudes
only fought once, right?
Yeah.
Fought once.
Yeah, they fighting like pay-per-view fighters, man.
These are outstanding young fighters. We got to see them as much as possible, 3 times a year, you know, but build their name up. Look at Triple G, man. Triple G was a nobody, but because he knocked somebody out, even if it was a bum, because he fought every 3 or 4 months, got a knockout,
right?
It built his name up. That's what I would love to see from more of these guys, man, is even if it is going to be a Jesse Vargas or really lower than a Jesse Vargas and another Ocampo, I just need to see him again. I need to see him on the screen.
Right. I agree.
So
I agree. Just get him in there. Get him in there and get him fighting.
Yeah.
But
yeah, Tank only fought once this year too, right?
But yeah, Tank and Adrien Broner fought once this year. But when these guys are making $2 to $3 million a fight,
they're not gonna take that stay busy fight for $500,000.
Like Golovkin, when Golovkin was fighting that often, he wasn't making like $3 million a fight. He was making like $700,000.
Right, and then some fights even less than that.
Right. So.
Oh, you know who we're forgetting about? Berto's still out there. I mean, Berto just won. I mean, he's still out there.
But that's what I'm saying. Like I'm okay with Errol Spence fighting guys like that, fighting a Berto.
Rock. I get what you're saying.
Right. I'm okay with it as well.
That's what you're talking about. Right.
If you're not going to get,
my bad.
If you're not going to get Terence Crawford, if you're not going to get Keith Thurman, I'm okay. If you're not going to get Sean Porter, I'm okay with Errol Spence fighting Andre Berto, Jesse Vargas,
Ugas.
You know, Devin Alexander.
Brooks said he'd like to fight him again at 54.
Kell Brook.
But again, I mean that's fine. That's great. But again, you're gonna have to, you know, there's the whole problem with, you know, Kell Brook being with Eddie Hearn and the Dazn situation and everything. So I'm just saying, I'm just sticking to this side of the street. If Errol Spence isn't gonna get the fights that he wants on this side of the street, I'm okay with him getting guys like Andre Berto and Jesse Vargas, guys that are on this side of the street. Actually, Jesse Vargas isn't technically on this side of the street anymore.
Just stay busy fights.
I don't even really consider them stay busy fights. Like, listen, Errol Spence is great.
I mean, it's a name.
I shouldn't even say great. Errol Spence is a good fighter, but let's not crown him yet. I mean, do I think he beats Andre Berto? Yes, I think he beats Andre Berto. But let me see the fight. Let me see the fight. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to just automatically say, oh, Errol Spence beats everybody in the welterweight division except Terence Crawford. The Terence Crawford fight has to happen.
So basically you're saying he should clean up everything on side of his street, staying active anyways, no matter what it is. Berto. I'm talking about Berto, Vargas, people in that. Yeah, in his respective weight.
Listen,
that's what I'm saying.
I prefer for him to fight Terence Crawford. I prefer for him to move up and fight Canelo. I would love to see those fights. But realistically, do I think they're going to happen? No. So if they're not going to happen, I'm okay with Errol Spence fighting these other guys, but make the fights. Like, I would have liked to see Errol Spence fight Andre Berto by the end of this year. Or Errol Spence fight, you know, Ugas, even if that's the guy he's going to fight. If he's going to fight Ugas, why isn't that fight happening this year? You know? But again, the reason why it's not happening is because those guys command. There's only so many dates in a year. There's only so many TV dates. If you're the boss and you're looking at your calendar and you're like, well, Christmas happens this weekend, so we can't do it then. Thanksgiving happens this weekend. Well, we're running out of dates, and I gotta get Tyson. I gotta get Deontay Wilder a fight. I gotta get this person a fight. I gotta get these other 50 guys a fight. Like it's all about filling up. There's only so many that you can't keep everyone happy. There's gonna be some pissed off dudes. There's gonna be some pissed off fans. But it is what it is because there's only so many dates for these guys that are making $2 to $3 million a fight. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that's the reason why it's not happening. That's the reason why you're not seeing them fight that often, which is, I mean, it sucks. But it's just the reality of the industry. It's the reality of having so many fighters. If Al's fighters were dispersed amongst Golden Boy and Top Rank and Eddie Hearn, you would probably see them fight more often because they would be with a different promoter who has different dates and has different opportunities. But it's just Al, you know, Al's got so many of these guys and he's only got so many dates. So and they all make good money, you know, and there's only so much money to put together for a fight. You can't do a card that has Deontay Wilder, Errol Spence, and Adrien Broner. Can't do it. Can't do it. That's too much money. It's too much money. All those guys need their own dates, and because they all need their own dates, you only got so many, you know. So it is what it is. But I honestly didn't mean to talk about Errol Spence so much, or Terence Crawford. Just one last note on Terence Crawford though. Great performance against Jose Benavidez. I thought that was a good win for him.
Yeah, he's the best fighter in the world, pound for pound. I think him and Lomachenko #2.
I don't. Do you think?
No, I don't think he's the best now. Now that he's moved up, I don't keep him on that pound for pound list.
He's not. He's not on your pound for pound list at all.
No, he's on my pound for pound list, but not #1.
Wow, who's your #1?
I don't put him over Canelo.
Canelo. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I got Canelo 3rd behind Crawford and Loma.
Wow, I can't, like, man, Loma might be.
I have Loma in my top 5.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't.
Wait. Loma might not be in the top 5.
Why not? Like, what? I mean, really? Like,
Rigondeaux, Gary Russell,
okay.
Like, those are real wins.
First of all, Rigo was like 115 pounds.
I agree, but that's not what everybody was saying before the fight, though. I agree. I knew Rigo was because you know boxing.
Well, but that's why I don't give him as much credit. I mean, I give him credit for the win, but you know, I don't say he's, you know, top 5 pound for pound because he beat Rigo. I mean, I didn't have Rigo in my top 5 pound for pound.
Gary Russell and Linares.
Gary Russell was a good win. Linares was a good win.
I mean, he fought the lineal champ and knocked him out in his first fight in a new weight class.
Yeah, but I mean, come on, like, does that really warrant, like, oh, well, he's better than Canelo? Like, I don't know.
No one else is doing that.
Doing what? Moving up and fighting the lineal champion and stopping him? How many opportunities do guys get to do that? Like, you make it sound like that, like, well, he could have moved up and he could have moved up, but there's not very many guys that get that opportunity. But
and then just look what Gary did. Look what Gary did. Since Gary is now the best featherweight in boxing, probably. So it's like, you
didn't say he definitely was. You said probably. So you don't really know that. You don't really know that. We think, but you don't really know that. But I don't want to have a pound for pound debate because we'll go around in circles about that. I just want to talk about Crawford's win and whether do you really give him? Does he? Or will he get the credit he deserves for that win, for beating Jose Benavidez, a guy that, you know, most casual fans have no idea who he was or anything like that? Like, does he get legit credit for a welterweight win over Benavidez?
I think he does. He's just moving up. He fought Jeff Horn, which was a pretty decent fight coming up. You know, Jose Benavidez put up a good fight, and it was more – I don't know. That's what I call like an in-between fight before. But now I want to see him fight somebody really a name.
You got to see a name.
5 person right now. Yeah.
You got to see a name.
At least a Danny Garcia, you know. I know he's not going to get Porter. I know those guys are on the other side of the fence. But I think he needs a name now. I don't want to see him fight another Jose Benavidez.
Who is the name for him? Who do you think he can get? I mean, Bob Arum rattled off a couple names. They sounded Russian or so. I don't even know who the guys were. So I can't remember who he said.
I know I keep throwing. Stacy's gonna kill me. I know I keep throwing his name out, but I wouldn't mind seeing him fight Jesse Vargas.
Yeah, you got to talk to Eddie Hearn and DAZN about that.
No, that's possible because he said they friends.
You know who I think? The best, unfortunately, the best opponents Bob has for Terence are 140-pounders. Jose Ramirez and Regis Prograis. Well, I don't know if Prograis is technically a top-ranked fighter.
That's a Lou DiBella fighter.
Yeah. But those are the most realistic. Like, it's sad. I mean, those are 140-pounders, but those are probably the best and easiest fights you can actually make on ESPN, is if Prograis wanted to move up. Or if Ramirez with his WBC belt wanted to move up to 147. Not very appetizing. The Prograis fight would be nice down the line, but let Prograis do something at 140 first, you know? But
Yeah, I don't see any good names for Terence Crawford on that side of the street. I think if I were Bob, I'd probably be talking to Al about seeing if I could get maybe a Devin Alexander or an Andre Berto, one of those guys.
Manny Pacquiao didn't want to fight Crawford. Yeah. Despite whatever Manny's saying.
Yo, you saw that?
Yeah.
You saw that shit today? Manny was like, yeah, Terence Crawford was scared to fight me.
Let me tell you something, man. Lee Samuels from Top Rank. Lee Samuels from Top Rank, right? He's one of Bob Arum's right-hand men for years, still is.
For sure. Good dude too. Good dude.
Very good dude. Yeah. Very good dude. And I remember back in 2016, this is after I asked Manny himself if he wants to fight Crawford, and the answer he gave me was not very good. He says, I don't pick my own opponents. He said that 50 seconds after he explained why he picked Jesse Vargas to fight him.
Wow.
So I talked to Freddie. Freddie Roach told me on camera and on camera flat out, we don't want the Crawford fight. Too much lateral movement at this stage of Manny's career.
Yeah.
And then Lee Samuels told me the same thing. Lee said they went to Manny and they offered him Bud, Jesse Vargas, and one other name. I can't remember who it was. And maybe Bradley. Maybe it was Jesse, Bradley, and Crawford. That was the game plan post Mayweather. And Manny and Freddie told Bob and Lee flat out, no, we don't want the Terence Crawford fight. The guy, they blamed it on the movement, but it's really the movement and everything else too.
Right.
So no, I mean, Pacquiao's one of the greatest fighters of all time, but that's just a lie when he says that Crawford didn't want the fight. He didn't want the fight.
Yeah, that was weird. And Terence came and checked him. He went on Twitter and dropped a little something. I can't remember exactly what he said. If I can pull it up real quick, but he did check him. He was not happy about that.
Manny. We keep mentioning Manny now. Let's get into reality here.
Okay. I know you've been waiting for that.
Pacquiao and Adrien the Problem Broner.
Let's get right to it. Let's get right
That's
to
what I'm talking about now.
I know you've been waiting for this. I was trying to just to segue into it, to just ease on into it, but fuck it.
We should have left that. We should have left that one for the end, but the heavyweights can get it last. But, man,
it's cool. We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Sean, you first. What you think of it, Sean?
What, Broner and Manny?
Yeah, how you see it going?
Oh my God. Well, you know how Broner likes to shell up when when the guy he's fighting lets his hands go. He likes to keep them hands by his head until they're done, so he can reply.
There ain't gonna be no done.
Yeah, exactly.
There ain't gonna be no done with Manny.
Yeah, so I think seriously, if Manny looks the way he did against Matisse, there's a good chance Broner gets stopped for the first time in his career.
Wow. That's what Manny said. That's what Manny said.
Right.
Manny said, I'm trying to knock him out in 7 or less. Like 7.
He said that.
He said that.
Manny's a live fighter. He done go with Al Heyman, man. There you go, man. Al Heyman, man, listen. Al Heyman might have started something, man. Everybody brought the old Manny back.
Hey, Stacy, he might be back on that shit. I'm just kidding.
Al got him gassed up, man. Manny said, I want to stop him in about 7 rounds. Like,
when does Manny Pacquiao say that? Ever?
Manny talking crazy. I know. Usually Manny
lies about Terence Crawford. Manny finna knock, man.
Right.
This is getting real.
Usually Manny be on that humble shit, like, I just want to please my fans, and
Manny's finna get all his money, man. Manny is finna get his whole check for the first time. He's been trying to kill this man.
Wow. Yeah, no, Manny talking real greasy, dog. He talking real greasy about Adrien Broner. Stop him, bro. He said, I'm trying to knock him out in
7 rounds.
No, bro. 7 or less. Like, wow. So, yeah, bro. Yeah, like, I don't listen. The fight's not a done deal yet. I
want to see him say that at the presser. I want to see that.
Look, the fight's not a done deal yet.
It ain't a done deal, but Rockman, how you see that one going?
Man, y'all crazy, man. He's not knocking Broner out.
But
listen,
if Trump, Broner winning
off air, man. If Porter couldn't knock him out, I mean, Mikey Garcia's top of his game right now. He couldn't knock him out. I don't think Adrien Broner gets knocked out. He might lose a 12-round decision, but he's not getting knocked out, dude.
Does he win? Does he win? Forget about how Pacquiao might win.
Y'all gonna back me into the corner? Adrien ain't never gonna talk to me again.
No. I'm just listen. We just talking hypothetically.
I mean, with all due respect, I think that Manny can outpoint him. I don't see him knocking Broner out at this point of his career.
Broner got a hell of a chin.
Ricky Hatton, Manny Pacquiao, yeah, but not 40-year-old Pacquiao. I don't think so.
I'd agree with you, Rock, but look how he looked against Matisse. Yeah, it was.
You know what, bro? You know what? For me,
y'all mad disrespectful, man. Now you're gonna compare Broner to Matisse? Come on, man. He has better defense than Matisse.
No, I'm just saying, no disrespect, but
Stacey,
why not?
No, Stacey joking said, with that. Not? I know you guys aren't being disrespectful. You're just giving your opinion. I think that Broner and Matisse, I always wanted to see that fight. That's a 50-50 match.
True.
I got that a 50-50 match. That'll be a hell of a fight. That's the fight he should take, but I definitely am happy for this, and this is all I ask for, Broner. Just please
do something.
Please let your hands go, man. That's all. And make it interesting for me.
You say that every fight, though. You say that every fight with Broner.
No. But usually I bet on it. That's not gonna happen this time. Listen to this. No, I'm not betting on it. He can say what he wants to when he see me, because shit, that's my motherfucking money. I can say what I want. You can't get mad at me because I was shit. I'm talking. That's my honest opinion, and I'm not caught up in the if he do what he could do. I'm like, I mean, maybe he's doing all he could do. Have anybody ever thought of that? Maybe he is giving you the best of him, and if that is the best of him, you in trouble, son. You in trouble. You in trouble, man.
Rock brings up a fair point, though. Like, is he really gonna? Broner got a hell of a chin. You got to give him that.
You gonna stop him? I don't know, but
like I
can see.
Off air, man. Like I said off air when we were talking about this, man. Manny didn't knock out Jeff Horn, dog.
Right.
I don't think he's gonna.
Jeff Horn big and strong, though.
Jeff Horn's big, though.
Okay, all right, but he's not.
I mean, I'm not
laughing, man. Yo, Broner might know it's over if he loses this fight too, man. So he's gonna come in full throttle.
Right.
It is a chance for him to wipe away almost every bad thing that's happened. Like if you could somehow beat Pacquiao, even if it's an old Pacquiao,
hey, you could say that for every fight Broner's had, though.
Right.
It does a lot for him.
I got a question for you guys about that fight. Do you think that Broner kind of fights Mayweather-ish? You know what I mean? Do you think he could channel Mayweather moves that Mayweather used in the fight against Manny?
There is no ish. There is no Broner fights like Mayweather or Mayweather-ish.
You know what I mean. He has the
shell. I know what you mean, but I'm going to be honest. Answer your question. It's even if he fought exactly like him, his body structure don't allow him to move like him, and then he flat-footed. He don't use his feet to move, man. And that's something you really going to have to do. You heard what they said about – I'm going to be honest with you, man. Forget it. I don't care if we on record. This fight, man, is like – you know how somebody give you a tailor-made fight as a matchmaker? That's what the hell this is for Pacquiao. If you put the style together, dude that don't punch and don't use his feet and fight flat-footed, but don't throw punches with bad intention. This is almost like giving him a fight, man. Like giving him a victory. A dude, he got to throw his punches, man.
I can't remember who I was talking to. I don't know if it was you, Stacey, or if it was you, Sean, but somebody I was talking to actually said this fight will probably look like Pacquiao versus Clottey.
That was Stacey.
Yeah, it was Pacquiao versus Clottey, but his defense ain't going to be a shell. Clottey was doing the same thing. And if you do that, you got to think, Pacquiao is a person that he don't give a damn where he hits you. Long as he's swinging and they touching you. It's just, he going to get our work to the highest extremes. And hopefully he do fight. And I'm being honest. Hopefully he fight this fight like this is his last big fight. Because it's probably going to be if he don't. I mean, because I'm being honest. I believe it's going to be bad and it's going to be ugly. I truly believe that.
Honestly, I think AB was 100% pretty much for Mikey Garcia. It's just once he tasted the power, he does what he does. He didn't let his hands go as much until late in the fight. I think AB's been in shape and ready to go for some of these fights. It's just he's lost.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I don't know if he's gun shy or what it is. It's just he don't throw his hands, man. It's just I'm not giving somebody a chance that won't throw punches.
Here's what
and then in their head say that, man, I got robbed. You did not get robbed, man.
Right.
If you believe you got robbed and you didn't throw no punches, and then it gets you pissed because you're like, damn, I don't think he was even hurt. Right. Well, Mikey Garcia fight, he tasted something, but nobody's gonna make me believe Jesse Vargas can hurt Adrien Broner or Paulie Malignaggi, and he did the same thing with them.
Right.
They might not power punches.
Even with Gavin Reese early in the fight.
Huh?
I remember Gavin Reese took a couple rounds off Broner back in lightweight because Broner wasn't letting hands go early in the fight.
Ashley took a couple rounds off of him.
Right, Ashley Theophane.
Come on, man.
Here's my concern about the fight. Obviously, everything that you guys said, the letting the hands go and all that good stuff. But my whole thing is that I kind of like you alluded to, Stacy. I don't know if Broner can get any better than what we've seen. I know that Broner says it. Broner, AB, always says, as long as AB is on his A game, nobody can beat him and stuff like that. And at one point, I do think Adrien Broner did have an A game. He was unstoppable, but it was at lower weights. It was when he was naturally bigger than some of the guys. My issue with the fight is that, or my concern that Broner's going to have with the fight, I should say, is that I know he could say what he wants about the Mikey Garcia fight. I know that they fought, or he trained in Colorado. It may not have been a great camp. That's fine. You can blow that off. But I know he was training with Kevin Cunningham for the Jesse Vargas fight. And even though Kevin ain't talking to me right now for whatever reason, I wish he would call me and let me know. Kevin, so if you're watching this, please call me and let me know why you mad at me. Because for the life of me, I like I said, I just have no idea why. But I know the type of trainer Kevin Cunningham is. And I know the type of stuff that Kevin will not put up with. So I know the type of training camp. I mean, even when training camp first started, Kevin was calling me like every day and giving me updates on how things were going. So I know the type of camp that Adrien Broner went through with Kevin Cunningham. And Kevin, I just know for that Jesse Vargas fight, Kevin had Broner right. Like, he had him right. Like, I don't think Broner could have gotten in any better, shape or condition or mentally ready for that fight than he could have with Kevin Cunningham. Like, Kevin is a legit serious trainer. So
he will.
Right. So if after going through that camp, the best that you could do against Jesse Vargas was a draw, a disputed draw too. Like, I don't, again, I'll play devil's advocate and say, yeah, it was a draw, could have gone either way. But a lot of people think Jesse Vargas won that fight. So if that's the best that you can do, can you get any, like, you're gonna have to be better than that for Pacquiao. I don't care if Pacquiao's 40 years old. I don't care if he's 30 years old. Like, you have to be better than what you brought against Jesse Vargas against Manny Pacquiao. So if Kevin Cunningham couldn't bring that out of you for Jesse Vargas, how he gonna bring it out for you, assuming that's still who you're training with? How's he gonna bring that out for you with Manny Pacquiao, especially if you don't think your back is against the wall? You know what I'm saying? Like that's what concerns me more than anything, is just I'm worried that maybe we've seen the best of Adrien Broner that there is. And what we've seen so far, I don't think is going to be good enough for this version, whether it's the version that just beat Lucas Matisse or whether it's the version that just fought Jeff Horn, or not just, but did fight Jeff Horn and lost to him, who I actually thought Manny won that fight. So even though he lost, I still thought he won that fight. So this is a very dangerous fight for Adrien Broner. Like I said, it's not solidified yet. It's not official. I know he was supposed to fight Manny Pacquiao a couple years ago, but he talked himself, or he asked for too much money And Bob's, basically said fuck that and went another direction. So I'm not ruling out the fact that this fight, still might not come to fruition. Adrien Broner still might ask for too much money. And I definitely know he put something on social media asking for $100 million already, so he's already talking crazy. So we're not 100% sure this fight is going to happen yet, but it is a dangerous fight for him. And
hey, well, he fight Errol Spence Jr. then that'd be great.
No, that may be an even more dangerous fight. but I'm just again, this is a tough fight for Adrien Broner. And I don't know if he's going to be able to muster up what he needs in order to beat Manny Pacquiao. I'm not going to say Manny Pacquiao going to knock him out. But, I could, if somebody told me that they're predicting that he could get stopped, I wouldn't argue with them. I really wouldn't argue with them. I can see a corner stop.
If I bet my money, that's what I'm betting. If I bet my money, I would bet that. Not to knock him out. I think that somebody would throw the towel in or something. I mean, because I could see that fight going to the point that a trainer would get frustrated with his inactivity and watch this man get hit with 75 punches in a row. I could see them saying, if you're not going to throw no more punches, I'm stopping this shit.
Yeah.
I can see that happening. I don't see him just getting knocked out, but that's possible too. But I see him getting outworked to the point that frustration settle in and somebody saying, man, this is a waste of everybody's time. You're not going to let your hands go. I'm going to stop it.
Right.
Because this is not going to be like Jesse Vargas, where it's going to be 30 of them coming. No, this is high volume shit coming at you. We all know that. This is what I was telling what's name one thing about Pacquiao. And my history of living. You ever seen a fighter move up in weight divisions from many weights as him and never back up? He's
almost suspicious.
Huh?
It was almost suspicious.
It's like no matter what weight it was very suspicious, but I'm not.
Weird how featherweights can go from making you.
I'm gonna fuck around and get sued if I give my opinion. So I'm not gonna say what I think about it or the damn shoulder that got healed. I'm gonna keep talking about that shoulder, but that damn shoulder with the salt water, the sea salt in the shoulder. Wow. Man, you better hope that sea salt. He better hope that damn shoulder get re-injured. I like you, Broner. I like you a lot, man. You should get that $4 million that it's worth, because that's what it's worth. It's not a pay-per-view fight, and people telling me that they think you're gonna get amped up for this one. I don't see that happening. I don't see nobody being more hungry with more money. I don't see that. I don't see a person getting more hungry that has more money. Everything was in front of him is not over for him because he's still Adrien Broner. It's different fights, but it's to the point that if not him, who do you think you're gonna fight? You gonna? I mean, because the other dude he was gonna fight wasn't a pushover. The guy that they was putting in the basket right before this, it was some guy that was mentioning him.
Omar Figueroa.
Even that guy wouldn't have been an easy fight. So it's to the point now. You take these millions or take this low million, but I mean, your time is coming. You're getting outworked anyways. Go get the money. Right. You might win.
I wonder if that fight is at 47 or 44. Like,
does it matter?
It don't really matter. That's the bad part. Ain't no catch weight.
Why not do it at 44?
Other people out, guess what? Rockman and all y'all. Other people outside of Errol Spence, man, don't mind going different ways, man. I mean, but other people don't mind doing that, but the greats.
Wow. Yeah, I do think Manny Pacquiao is hungrier than it's weird to say that, but I do think Manny Pacquiao is hungrier for the money than Adrien Broner. I think he needs the money. I think he knows that if I look good against Adrien Broner, I might get that Mayweather rematch, even though Floyd just did a little quick interview with TMZ saying that he don't give a fuck about Pacquiao anymore.
Yeah, his paychecks was done. Of this size, this is unbelievable. Just the fact of Floyd talking to think about it. It was over for Pac-Man.
Right.
They talk about Terence Crawford. Nobody out there was finna get him the money he's finna get. This is a whole he back to it. What? Floyd is back? He couldn't fight me?
Right.
I got belt. Fuck it. I got belt.
I got
what belt do
belts.
he got to be talking about?
I got
what
belts.
the fuck belt is that, man?
He got the WBA regular version. Yeah, just some dumbed down version.
I was like, what belt you got?
I got Gucci belt.
He's got the Intercontinental belt.
He's got the Intercontinental Gucci
and Keith Thurman has the WWF belt.
I wish what's his name luck. I wish Broner luck, man, and I wish Errol Spence to go. Man, listen, Errol, listen to me, man. I like you. I know them your boys, man. You better start taking their money, man. You better go get them fights that they want, man. Go get them. Wow. I believe you. You get anybody, because I don't care. You got to think about Errol Spence. He a body attack. I learned that from watching Floyd career, man. You got a good body assault, you can kind of travel anyway. Best
body puncher in boxing, Errol Spence, probably.
You got that body shot work. You could take your show on the road anywhere.
Come on. I was talking about that interview that Floyd did on TMZ. He also made the comment that he was the one that told Al to make the Pacquiao Broner fight. So having said that, if you know that Floyd was the one that suggested making that fight, who do you think Floyd expects to win the fight? Pacquiao or Broner? Pacquiao?
Manny. But at the same time, it's like him and Broner seem to have a little bit of this frenemy thing going on, which is kind of perfect because it's like I'm hooking you up to get you this $4 million payday, but you're gonna get the shit beat out of you. So it's kind of perfect. It's like it kind of goes hand in hand with their relationship.
It's called reminisce, man. You know, we've been through this story before, little bruh. Let me take care of your work for you, man.
I can't believe you guys think that.
This time, I'm going to take care of the work first. Let you see, since you think that you can fuck with me. And then once you see that, you're going to be like, damn, bro, this shit was like that. Give them to me again, man. Daddy got your problems. Big bro got you. I help you.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
I help. And this was the thing about it. He going against the softball. This was crazy. Guess who should be his sparring partner for that matchup they fight?
Who should be whose sparring partner? Broner?
I mean, ain't no duplicating them. The best you got is probably Tank.
Oh, right.
I don't know. They gonna have to be smaller. They gonna have to be fat. I don't even know who do you get to train for him, man?
For Pacquiao?
Man. Yeah. You said who?
Zab, what are you doing?
Zab?
Zab, you up to anything? Can you come to the gym?
But Zab, but would Zab even like Zab would probably come just to fucking show out and you know and to beat up Broner. Like I don't know if he would actually show.
I don't think so. I think Zab would work. I think Zab would work.
Maybe. I mean, he would work in rotation.
Who do
you know? You might get a few of them because you ain't gonna be able to emulate him, so you can get. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I say, what's his name for the power, but he can't really emulate him because he don't throw punches like that. I mean, it's just the fact that he's short and little and strong.
Also, I mean, maybe Floyd's thinking if Broner wins, that's cool. We could do that fight. That's where me and him will sell out that place easy.
Which fight's bigger? I
don't think he's thinking that at all.
No.
No. Not at one bit.
You think
he like you gonna take that 4 and going on. That's about it.
You think
don't say I ever did nothing for you.
You disrespected me a little too much for me to give you to change your life, buddy. Take this 4 and going on.
Wow.
He know what he's doing. Man, it's a good idea. You know what? And to be honest, for Broner, really look at Broner's whole situation. Okay, you floating from 144. You've lost to the champion at 140. Other people coming that way. It's nothing there. He's not going to face nobody at 147 that's on top of that division. So, I mean, to me,
this is perfect for him.
He's fighting these $1 million fights with Figueroa or whatnot, but I mean, I don't know why he wouldn't take the $4 million because it's going to take him 4 fights to get it. And he's not guaranteed he's going to win the 4 fights. I mean, I think it's the best move for him. I think he should go out, as they call it, balls out. I think he should go out all the way out on his shield. You never know what you get, but if he don't go out on his shield, I'm sorry, he's gonna get dominated. Wow. That's just, and I would tell him that to his face. He got to fight. He has to fight this time, man. But
I wouldn't tell him to his face.
I would. Shit, I ain't need 120 pounds. I ain't worried about none of them boxers, man. Shit, I box a little bit too.
Wow, yeah, dominated. Rock, you're stunned. I know you're stunned to hear these domination words and stoppage words. Can convince us why you think Adrien Broner is going to be in this fight or competitive or win.
I don't think he'll win. I think that Pacquiao is more accurate. He's going to outpoint him. He's a southpaw. But he is old, and he didn't knock out Jeff Horn. He didn't knock out. I mean, he looked good against Matisse, but you know, I don't know. I just think that Broner knows how to. I think that Broner knows how to stay out of the way of a huge shot to get knocked out.
So your argument is not that
he has a chance. He has a chance of survival, is what he said.
Right.
Like you don't.
No, be honest, man. He knows how to survive.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. That's true.
But is it going to be competitive? Is it a fight? Like, is it going to be a competitive fight?
I would say yes, because I think that Broner knows that it's over if he loses this fight, if he gets dominated in this fight. So I think he brings his A game and he his ass off.
So
honestly, that's my opinion.
So
he's gonna do everything to survive and get to the 12th round and get to the next fight.
So
if he's knocked out, it's over.
So you're convinced, you are convinced that Adrien Broner is going to let his hands go.
No, I'm convinced he's going to survive. Honestly, I'm not convinced he's going to let his hands go.
If it's competitive, he has to.
Against Mikey Garcia.
If it's
he didn't let his hands go against Porter.
And Mikey Garcia wasn't competitive. I didn't think that was a competitive fight. I thought Mikey Garcia, pretty much beat him up.
Dominated.
But you're telling me it's going to be a competitive fight. So
I think Broner spoke about 4 or 5 rounds in that fight. I mean, I don't think it was a complete whitewash, right? He stole about 4 or 5 rounds.
4 or 5 against Mikey?
Keyword stole. I mean,
I remember he came on decent at the end with some good body shots, but
I say
the first
3 or
9
4
rounds he didn't do shit.
I say 3 or 4 if you're being kind. If you're being kind, 2 or 3 is probably realistic. 3 or 4 if you're being kind. And to me, that's 8 rounds to 4. That's domination to me. I mean, that's, I don't know. I guess you can argue that an 8-4 fight can be competitive, but I don't know, man. I didn't see him do anything until the end of the fight. Like you said, Sean, like the end of the fight. And even when he was doing stuff then, Mikey Garcia was answering. He answered.
And
he hurt Mikey late, it looked like, but
can I ask
nothing crazy.
To my point, I mean, I think, do you think that Sean Porter is a more dangerous fight when he fought Porter?
You are stuck on the Porter. He knocked Porter down. You are stuck on that.
Look, I think that Garcia is more dangerous than Pacquiao right now. And he survived those fights. I don't think that Pacquiao is going to knock him out.
Well, you're doing boxing math. You're doing boxing math. I'm just looking at the styles. I don't see anything. Broner didn't show me anything against Jesse Vargas.
That's your question. Can I ask you a question? What makes you think he's more dangerous? I mean, this is what comes up with the danger part. Like, based on he's never knocked out a 147-pounder, and this dude got a couple bodies.
That's a great point. That's a great point.
So I want to know, like, what? I know you said he's older, but based on he has a knockout in the last 5 years, what I'm saying is, based on, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. Based on his chin.
I think it's his age.
His age, and what's the name, dude? And Broner is tough.
He is tough.
Broner is tough, man.
He can take a shot.
He can take a shot.
I mean, he could take a shot. I don't know. The older you get, man, you can't keep taking shots.
That's true, too. That's true, too. But, hey, guys, before I get going to the boo-boo fight, you guys going to hate me for this.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You do have to go cover that.
Floyd has always been a master of the game, in and out of the ring, right? But to me, for the first time, he came up looking like the salty guy when he spoke out on Canelo this week. It was the first time. Every other time, Floyd is good with his mouth. He knows how to always keep you here, and he's there, right? But I felt this time he didn't look good. He looked like the jealous
man. Can I respond to that?
Me being my cousin, I'm gonna be honest. He probably allowed it, but that didn't sound like his words though. Like the choice of words was weird to me. But you do know that Canelo did start it though, man. The first blow, man.
No, Canelo didn't start it. Floyd started it.
Nope, you're wrong. But go ahead. You're wrong, Rahman. But go ahead. I'll let you say what you got to say, and then I'll correct you.
Wait a minute. He did it. Floyd was trolling a little bit by saying that he was going to fight Pacquiao on the day of the Canelo Triple G fight.
But I think that's factual though. But no,
a bit of a troll.
I think that was factual though. I think Floyd was in Japan.
You think there was a coincidence, or because he did the same thing?
No,
to Pacquiao when
listen. If he was at home chilling, Rahman, and then he happened to tweet this or whatever, then yes, I don't know. But dude, like, he was legit in Japan meeting with Manny Pacquiao, and he didn't just make the announcement. They dropped footage of it. So I don't think Floyd was in Vegas thinking, wait a minute. Canelo fights this weekend? Oh, hold up. Call the jet. We got to go to Japan. Somebody call Pacquiao. See if you can get him on the phone. See if you can have him meet me in Japan so we can do this video and I could drop it on the exact day that Canelo's going to fight. I don't think that was the plan.
Why not? Why not do that? I mean, Floyd's a mastermind.
Because you don't have to.
Arrange if you're in that area anyway, and Pacquiao, lives in Asia or whatever, why not, set that up on the day of that?
Because
he could have set it up at his fight.
He could have what? He could have what, Stacey?
He could have set it up in Vegas if he wanted to do that and make it big.
he could have set it up.
Right, they could have done that on the Strip. Totally hijacked the week.
Right in front of T-Mobile Arena.
Right? Remember he announced that he was coming back to fight Marquez when Pacquiao had a fight the same day or some shit?
Yeah.
Right? And I love Floyd. Don't get it fucked up. Floyd's my guy. But, that was a little bit of a... that was just...
I'm gonna tell you, dude, Floyd's stirring up water to catch some fish, man. You hear me?
But I don't...
He's stirring up water. Just make it... You gotta think, his name been in the tabloids every day. He ain't gonna stop it until he fighting. So, I mean, it's a crazy build-up, but hey. But what's his name bid on it?
Who?
But, it's just funny when people with De La Hoya camp, man, speak about something that's destroying boxing, but these are all the same people that said they would fought, what's the name?
McGregor, and tried to make the fight.
Yeah, so that's
they
where
still make that fight.
I don't.
You think so?
It's a little less. The public doesn't want to see it as much as they would want to see it before he got knocked out by Floyd, or before he got stopped by Floyd.
Right.
But I don't get where everybody's saying that Floyd's jealous. Floyd has more money.
I'm not saying he's jealous. I'm saying it came off. He came off as the salty one in that exchange to me for the first time.
Look, this is.
I say that Floyd he got something up his sleeve, but I have no idea what it is. It's something up his sleeve, though.
Sean, I do agree that it looked as though he was salty because of the format that he chose to say something. He just went on social media, he went on Instagram, he went on Twitter, and it looked like he was just lashing out at Canelo because he got this deal. But if you actually follow the headlines, you could actually see when the day that Canelo got the deal with Dazn, he did an interview with TMZ. And TMZ asked him if he would want the rematch with Floyd. And he answered, yes, I want the rematch with Floyd because Floyd is hurting boxing. Those words right there.
He said that.
Those words right there. Floyd is hurting boxing. Canelo said those words, and that's what got under Floyd's skin. The fact that he said he was hurting boxing by fighting guys like Conor McGregor or now talking about fighting Khabib. That probably, I wasn't there, but I'm guessing that probably pissed Floyd off when he heard about that. And that's the reason why he lashed out at Canelo. And really, you got to look at everything he said about Canelo. He didn't just shit on the deal. He also said Canelo is a shitty fighter. Like Conor McGregor is a better fighter than him, which
that wasn't cool.
It's not cool. It's not cool. But that's Floyd pissed off at the fact that Canelo said that I'm hurting boxing when I'm the one. You got to put yourself in Floyd's shoes.
I'm the reason your ass get that big ass deal.
I'm the reason why you're able to get the kind of money that you're getting. How dare you say I'm hurting boxing when everything I've done put you in a position to make the type of money that you're making right now.
Actually, me beating you helped put you in the position there. Me beating you helped you.
Right. Like that's
my side.
That's how Floyd thinks of it, and that's how I would think. That's how anyone would think of it if they were in that position.
No, you're right.
And I think that he was kind of. I think Floyd felt some type of way because he's always pretty much. It probably was a little embarrassing because he's always spoke highly on him. No matter even if Floyd had back and forth with De La Hoya, he always speaks highly on him.
Bro,
and that's not just in front of the public. He speaks like that about him
off the record,
privately with me. So he really do respect his fight game and stuff.
It was insulting. It was insulting to Floyd that someone that he speaks about in that manner. I mean, you got to remember, Floyd declared that Canelo is the new face of boxing. Those words came out of Floyd's mouth. Floyd has always said, you know, he's a good fighter. Like Floyd, you know, was the first one to say he's going to beat Triple G. You know, like Floyd has been always been respectful of Canelo. So for Canelo to come out and say, you know, he's hurting boxing on the heels of you signing this $365 million deal, on the heels of you getting paid more than anybody else in the boxing game, that was really a slap in Floyd's face, and that's the reason why he went so like he really. I mean, he really ripped into Canelo. I mean, forget about the Dazn stuff. Like, and truth be told, everything he said about Dazn is factual. Yeah, you're gonna make 365, but you got to make it in 11 fights over the next 5 years. I can come back today and make it in 1 fight. That's factual. But he was saying that because he was insulted at what Canelo said, and the reason why he threw in the, you know, oh, Conor McQuitter is a better fighter is because he really took offense to the fact that, man, I've given you props in the past, and this is how you gonna come at me? Nah, that's not cool, bro. That's not cool.
But the young lion is licking his lips now, saying, "Oh, you thinking of coming back to the jungle?
Yeah,
come and get me."
But it's too late. It's too little, too late. It's too little, too late. He should have said
why he wasn't licking. Why he licked them chops during that big stage?
Yes.
That's his fuck up.
He should have said it then. Yeah, if you were insulted that Floyd announced he was coming back on the day of your fight, right, Rockman? If you were insulted by that, then after you beat Golovkin and got the win and got up on the shoulders and told everybody, shh.
Right.
You should have got off the shoulders and took the mic and in English said, "I want Mayweather next," and dropped the mic. And then got out the stage. Yeah. Like, what? Like, that's what you should have done.
Somebody got to hire you, man.
I know, dude. I know. They really, like, or at least watch my videos and you'll know how you should do it. Don't wait 2-3 weeks later. I mean, Jesus, what date is it? It's like an entire month later when you finally decide to say, yeah, I want the rematch for Floyd. He's hurting boxing. How's he? Bro, he's not even fighting. He's been retired. How is he hurting boxing? How is he hurting boxing? Just because he said, oh, wait, this Khabib motherfucker just called my name?
How you hurting boxing? Your ass just got $400 million, man.
Right. What are you talking about? Like, that's Oscar, bro. Like that's Oscar talking.
It looked like a whole bunch of people. Y'all just said it. All these people getting millions just flying out of money. Broner getting millions still.
Right.
Man, please. I don't like boxing hurting to me.
Right. Right.
There's all type of money in this shit.
Yeah, that's. I mean, but
you're right. Silly statement when you're getting paid $365 million from the sport you're saying is not doing well.
but Sean, to your point,
got a bigger contract than LeBron James about the boxers hurt.
Right. But Sean, to your point, you are correct. He did come off looking like he was salty. Somebody said, damn, Fighthype loves Floyd like a crackhead. Just stop it, bro. Like, if I'm lying about something when I speak about Floyd, then tell me I'm lying. But I'm not lying about anything I'm saying. This is just factual. It's not about loving Floyd Mayweather. This is just factual. Just follow the headlines, and this is how it happened. Canelo said this. Floyd responded. Did it look salty? Yes, it looked salty, but only because of the format.
Then what did Lawyer come and do?
And then
what did Lawyer go backyard his fighter after that?
Right.
Well, Oscar said some shit.
Oscar can get his ass sued for what he did.
Right.
Yeah. Well, no. Yeah. Oscar going after Gervonta Davis was, I don't like. What are you thinking, bro? Like, you can't get sued for that. So
the tweet about Dazn giving out shitload of money was mad funny though.
It was mad funny, and it's true. It's factual. It's factual.
How do your tweet look drunk though?
Tweet look drunk. Tweet look drunk.
I just heard it. But you're out a shitload of money.
Mr. Just Because. What about talking about the fights coming on tonight? We did talk about them. We talked about it when the show first started.
Boo Boo should dominate. He's fighting a guy who fought nobody in Africa.
Yeah, it's like an hour and 45 minutes ago. You just have to rewatch the show when it goes up, and you'll see what we have to say. But yeah, no, the Oscar comment about that's dumb. Like I don't know. He must have been out drinking. He must have did a lot. I don't know what he was thinking. Yeah, I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know why he went at
the heavyweights ain't gonna get no love today. The heavyweights ain't gonna get no love.
What heavyweights? Oh, Deontay. Oh yeah, real quick, Sean, before you have to go, just because I know you were at the. Wait, you went to the LA press conference, right?
No, I didn't.
You didn't go to any of the press conferences.
But I did think what was interesting. Everyone's gonna think we talked about this, Ben. You guys probably think I'm nuts, but we saw the face-off between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury.
Right.
I thought Tyson Fury really took us for a left turn there when he started talking about alter egos and God and all that. Because if you know Tyson Fury, you know that he's a conspiracy theorist.
Right.
So I don't know. I was just for anybody that caught that, if you know what Tyson Fury's kind of beliefs are, you know that he was brushing up on some weird stuff in that 20-minute face-off with Deontay Wilder. That's why Wilder wound up saying, "It's my God against your God." I thought it was great stuff. It was a great build-up. But I still think Fury gets knocked out.
Well, real quick. Rockman, you were at one of the press conferences, the one in New York, right?
Yes.
He was, right?
All right. Well, we all saw the press conference. There was one in London, there was one in New York, there was one in Cali, and both guys were going back and forth at each other, and it clearly looked like Tyson Fury was trying to play, mental warfare with Deontay Wilder. Rockman, you were there. What was your feeling being at the press conference, seeing the two guys interact? Like, I mean, is that shit real? Like, is there really some animosity there? Is Tyson Fury getting under the skin of Deontay Wilder?
Well, first of all, I think I was at the better press conference. I think the New York one was the best.
It was on the Intrepid, right?
What's that?
It was on the Intrepid, right?
Yeah, it was on the Intrepid. It was on a ship.
Mm.
I think the LA press conference and the London press conference. Fury looked good. I mean, I've seen him before. He looked like he was semi in shape. He's still, even in shape, he kind of looks a little pudgy. But to answer your question, I think that these guys know each other. They're friends. You can obviously tell that they're friends, but they're competitive. It's just like you playing your friend in basketball. Mm. When you're playing basketball with your friend, you're not gonna be cool and just be friends. You're gonna actually try to beat them. And I think that's what both guys are going to do. I think it's legit. It's going to be a legit warfare. I think that Deontay is going to actually come in and try to knock him out, regardless of the fact that they're friends or not.
Stacey, what did you think? I felt like Tyson Fury is up 3 rounds to nothing right now. I think he really is under Deontay Wilder's skin. I mean, I don't, I know
Fury. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut Stacey off, but Fury. I just want to add that Fury's the better shit talker. Period. I mean, he's the better shit talker.
I don't think it's just about shit talking. You can shit talk and not be phased. You know what I'm saying? I really think Tyson Fury has gotten under Deontay Wilder's skin. I don't think that little scuffle in Cali was staged. I don't think it was fake or anything like that. I think Deontay Wilder really legitimately had enough. And was like, I'm gonna fuck this motherfucker up right now. So
I don't think so.
You think it was staged?
I don't think it was staged, but I don't think that he got under Wilder's skin. I think they're both professionals.
I don't know, bro. I think that amateur KO loss comment.
Wilder is more mad at Joshua than Fury, and he fights Fury. I think the beef between Joshua and Wilder is real. But I think this is going to be a competitive fight because even though they're cool and cordial, they do want to be the best, and they do want that next gigantic payday. They both want that, whatever's next. Tyson Fury's not going to lay down, but I think I told you my predictions of the fight. I think a bigger target is not going to be better for Wilder. I think he drops those bombs, and if he has a bigger place to put those bombs, it's going to be an easier fight than somebody that can come in and get under there and get at him.
But he's not. But he's not going to be dropping those bombs. Actually, Sean, you did an interview with Paulie Malignaggi the other day, and Paulie brought up a good point. He's gonna have to be punching up at Tyson Fury, not down. So, is that going to affect him?
A lot of people say that. I don't mean to cut Sean off. A lot of people say that,
but you're gonna do it anyway.
I wasn't talking. I wasn't talking. You're good.
Neither was Stacy.
A lot of people say that, but like he's only 2 inches taller than Wilder.
And when they stare down, he doesn't even look taller.
No. Ask yourself before you finish. He's only 2 inches taller than him, but then question yourself: how many people have he fought that has been 2 inches taller than him?
He's fought some tall guys. What? Malik Scott is pretty tall.
He's not taller. He's not taller.
Not saying that it gives him a loss. To me, it's interesting.
I think the guy that beats Wilder is going to have to be a smaller target and come in and get at him. If you look at him I took a good look at them when they faced off. Honestly, the 2 inches is Fury's head. They stand almost eye to eye, and then I feel like Fury's head is bigger.
He's got a longer head. He's got a longer head.
No disrespect to Fury, but I don't know. I don't see Fury going full 12 rounds with.
How I see the fight going is like at first I had a 70-30 Fury. Now it's more 50-50, and the 50-50 is he needs a knockout, and I could see if he didn't have all knockouts, so that's his chance. So his chance is more than just a puncher's chance based on he knocks out everybody, but. It's interesting because I ain't gonna lie. There's very few heavyweights, and there's very few heavyweights you can get to train to fight a fighter that's good on his feet. But I think it's an interesting fight, and I definitely want to see it. Like, I don't know what to expect, but I'm always gonna go for the boxer, man. But they building it up so good that I ain't gonna lie. When a fight get closer and closer as it get, that's a good build up to me.
Yeah, I agree.
Stay. So you're picking a boxer? You're picking Fury?
No, I got a 50-50. I ain't betting my money on this.
Okay.
I'm just betting on the under. I'm just betting it won't go the whole 9. Because don't get it twisted. Fury can knock him out as well. Y'all just act like he's not a heavyweight.
Don't rule out a controversial draw.
Well, I ain't gonna lie. It ain't gonna be no controversy. Ain't gonna be no controversy, man. You hear me? If Fury go 12 rounds, to me, there's no way Wilder gets a draw. I'm sorry. It's very controversial. I can't see him.
He could have a couple knockdowns.
I think people underestimate Wilder's boxing skills.
Oh, no. He can box a little better than I think, but I just don't think he's a better boxer than that. I know for a fact he ain't fought no heavyweight that's good on his feet because you can name him in a lifetime on your hand. It's probably 10 heavyweights that ever put on a pair of gloves that actually could bounce on their feet. So I know he can't even train for that. So it's interesting in that point. I know for a fact he never fought nobody like that. Do I think he ever fought somebody like Wilder? No, I don't think nobody ever fought nobody like Wilder. So that's what just make it intriguing that at this day and age, I don't know. Wilder, because even though he was older, Klitschko, that feet stuff, man, made it very difficult for him, man.
But his feet ain't been there since he's come back in 2018. He's laying on the ropes. He's not moving around like he used to.
Yeah, but look who he's fighting.
Maybe he was doing that to get rounds in the last time. I don't know.
He didn't have to move.
Or maybe he was doing it because he's fat.
All that comes to mind is Steve Cunningham knocking him down, man, with a clear.
You be holding on to them knockdowns, Rockman. You see somebody knocked down, that's a wrap.
Listen, you can't hold on to a knockdown, man, because like a 41-year-old, he was an inch away from being knocked down then, and he did what he had to do.
Andre Ward got knocked down by Sergey Kovalev,
by
and you see how
Boone.
that ended.
He got knocked down by Diggling Boone
and Darnell Boone.
But go back and look at the cutting. Go back and look at that Cunningham.
Bobby Jack was knocked out cold. He done fought much better opposition since then, but he got caught.
I'll give you this, Rockman. The Steve Cunningham knockdown was a picture-perfect rendition of how Deontay Wilder will probably knock him out if he gets a knockout. Like, the way that he landed that right hand is how you can picture Deontay Wilder landing a right hand on Tyson Fury. But but you do be holding on to them knockdowns, Rock.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't believe now. Listen now. Now this is the thing. 50-50 because of this. He's gonna land the right hand. He's gonna land it. We all know it.
Timber.
I don't know if he's gonna fall immediately, but he is gonna feel that right hand. We all know that. Because he's not a slow guy. He's gonna get a shot off because he's actually willing to take a punch to get a shot off. So it's interesting, man. I mean, I'm 50-50, man. I'm betting on the under. So that kind of tell you who I'm betting on.
Yeah. And Ben, I actually disagree, man. Like, well, I got Wilder in this fight.
Yeah,
but
you and Rock, all the way, 100%.
I don't sense that he was really. I sense more so than him getting under Wilder's skin that he's trying to convince himself. Because when he was talking heading into that first Klitschko fight, man, you could feel that the man was speaking from his heart. That he really believed what he said.
You don't see that this time, though?
I mean, 1 minute, I'm going to give you the belt back. The next minute, I'm going to make it look easy for 12 rounds, make you look stupid. The next minute, I'm going to knock you out in the first round. This guy's saying all types of shit. Like, I'm just saying I felt it was more sincere when he looked Klitschko dead in the eyes. Like, I'm going to beat you. I felt that more.
John, that was the drugs.
But no, well, if actually, what was so crazy was
heading into the rematch on drugs, man. Shit.
But if you remember, heading into the Klitschko rematch, he was telling Klitschko, "You're gonna beat me," like, So, no, but I'm just saying, I think he's trying to convince himself more so than he's getting in Deontay's head. I think Deontay really believes he's gonna knock his ass out. Like,
okay, this is a question. What position did this put Wilder in? He win. It puts him like. Where did that look? I mean, even though it won't happen, how did that look with Joshua then? I mean, what else is it there?
I think he gets a better offer. Like, I think
right. That's what I'm saying.
I think him sparking out Tyson Fury would get him more money, but at the end of the day, it like is that enough? Like, Deontay Wilder and his side believe it should be a 50-50 fight. So if he's not being offered 50% of the money, we're no closer to the fight than we were before the fight.
The zone situation is not going to help.
That's not going to help. That's not going to help.
I'm sure that with him, he's going to get the same thing with Canelo. They for sure not letting you go nowhere,
right? Because
they gave up too much damn money.
Right.
Y'all saying $130 million is? I mean, how much money you said they got? 130 in a year? Goodness gracious!
Committed to just those two, Canelo and
fighters, Canelo and Joshua. Yeah, 130, basically 60 million a piece, 65 million a piece. So yeah. That's a lot of money, bro. That's a lot of money. But we'll see, man. You can't, you can't run away from the fight forever. You know what I'm saying? Like it's probably not going to happen in April. I mean, I'm resigned with that.
I think
but
it happens late next year.
I still say 2020. I think I told somebody this last year. These guys weren't going to fight until 2020, and I just don't think it's going to happen until 2020. The business doesn't dictate that they fight right now. Eddie has got this DAZN stuff that he's launching, and I mean, unless Wilder agrees to fight on DAZN, it's not going to happen. Not this year or not next year. You
got a Wimbledon deal too, right?
Maybe, I don't know.
You got a Wimbledon deal as well, right?
I don't know.
Well, we know Joshua's going to go to Dylan White.
No. I'm talking about Eddie Hearns. I thought he had a deal with Wimbledon Stadium over there.
Oh, the stadium. For some reason I thought you were talking about DAZN and getting a deal with tennis. I I was on
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, no, yeah,
Eddie Hearn's got to deal with them too, right?
It's just a 2-fight. Well, now it's just one more fight deal. So really, it's just his next fight is going to be at Wimbledon. That's going to be the April fight. So,
okay.
But yeah, I just don't think it's any closer. You know, unless what's really going to determine you know, the fight and Deontay Wilder's money, that is the pay-per-view numbers. It really doesn't matter the outcome. Deontay Wilder can look suspect against Tyson Fury. As long as they do good pay-per-view numbers, that's all that the businessmen care about. What are the pay-per-view numbers going to be in the United States? And if it's a big...
With that being said, guess what?
What?
We ain't finna get no closer. That's not gonna do well.
You don't think it's gonna do? You don't think it's gonna do good? What do you think the numbers are gonna be on pay-per-view? Real quick, around the horn. Sean?
3 to 4.
3 to 4.
3 to 4.
3 to 4.
Around there, yeah.
3. You too, Stacy? 3 to 400.
Yeah, I say around there.
What about you, Rock?
Might even do less.
2.5, like Wilder predicted. No, I'm just messing.
2.5 million.
I think it does the same thing. The Lemieux Triple G fight did.
Whoa, that's terrible.
That would be bad.
That's less than 200.
No, why I say it's bad, and he might be right.
I think it was less than 2. I think it was like 100. Cool.
No, it's off. It's off.
It just disconnected.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, it just said we reconnected. I don't know if it started a new stream.
I'll check.
But yeah. Oh, yeah. I think we hit the 2 hour.
Y'all ain't online. No, why I say it won't do it. I don't think. I was talking to my boy. I talked to a lot of people.
Oh, we're on.
And I was like, yeah, pay-per-view. He literally, this was 3 days ago, and he loved boxing. He was like, that's pay-per-view. I said, yeah, man, I'm not paying for that.
Well, look.
I said, but they the heavyweights. He said, I know that's only one person, but a lot of people don't believe this is a pay-per-view fight. They're like, huh?
Somebody said
the undercard is like, nobody really know who the undercard is for sure. It's been discombobulated. It's like,
right.
I don't know. I mean,
somebody
got way in December though.
Yeah, I see a lot of 300,000s, 280, 280. I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna say I actually expected to do about 350, but I'm gonna say they do 500. I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt and say they do 500,000 pay-per-view buys. I'm gonna say there's gonna be a slap at the weigh-in, a shove, a push, something to drive up sales, and I'm gonna say they reach the 500,000 mark. Now, do I think that's gonna matter to Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua? No, I don't think they're gonna care. I think in order to get Eddie and Anthony Joshua's attention, they're gonna have to do at least 800, 900, or 1 million pay-per-view buys. And that just seems unrealistic in today's pay-per-view market. I mean, Canelo Triple G 2, not the first fight, but the second fight, after a failed drug test, after all the shit talking back and forth between the two camps, barely made it to 1 million. So if that fight barely made it to 1 million, I don't know how Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder get their fight to 1 million.
I'm gonna get going, y'all, and cover this boo-boo fight.
Yeah, no, we're gonna wrap up.
Right.
I'm pretty much done. You guys got anything else to say? Sean, we got to get Sean off to the fight. He got to go get us some coverage to keep the fans happy tonight. We'll get back together next week sometime and talk more specifically about some of the things. But anything else you guys got to say before we go?
Do y'all think Boo Boo gonna stop him or no?
Fights tonight.
No, I think it goes the distance.
I want him to stop him, man. Make an entrance to 160. But
Rock?
What I want, I don't always get.
Let the best man win. Shame on you, Billy Joe.
Sean?
I'm hoping he gets a stoppage. I'm going to be like you just did with the pay-per-view buys. I'm going to be an optimist, glass half full guy.
There you go.
So tonight I say with Boo Boo, after the first 3 or 4 rounds of relatively dull action, I think he shakes some of the rust off. And because he knows he's on the same app as the $365 million man, he throws his hands a little bit more and gets Walter out of there. I'm going to say he stops him late.
Or at the very least, he gets a couple knockdowns.
Yes, something.
Yeah. All right, that's what's up, fellas. We will touch back. I don't know, sometime next week.
Cool.
All right. Peace.
I'll holler at you.
All right, guys.
Peace.